MacGyver.
Hi, I'm MacGyver. Just want to do a little recap on Shipcasters, faction warfare, what's been going on. Now, I've not been involved with faction warfare, but I've been following it a little bit, particularly the Shipcasters. Things which have come into existence as the result of faction warfare players over the last few months. Now, if you've been out the loop and you want to know what a Shipcaster is, it's basically a kind of jumping mechanism that would take people in faction warfare factions to the front line of where their fights are taking place. And they exist because players in those factions have been contributing components to build these shipcasters in recent times. Now, you can only use shipcaster related to your faction if you're fighting faction warfare for that faction. It's not just anyone that can go along and jump with them. Now, the system that I'm in is next door to a system that has an operational interstellar shipcaster. So I'm going to go and take a look at it. Now, the way that it works is that I think that there are 3 or 4 potential places that it could jump you to at the front line, and it alternates between these targets every 6 minutes. And what it takes you to is a shipcaster beacon. Now, the shipcaster itself cannot be blown up, but the beacon can. So you could fully expect that when you arrive through the shipcaster, wherever it takes you to, you're going to find enemies more or less straight away. So it could be just an instant way of finding a fight. Now, the shipcaster itself is in Intaki, which is high security space. So when you're jumping, you should be relatively safe. Well, you should be safe from pirates, but obviously people who are in the opposing faction would be able to shoot you, as they would in any area of space. Just going to jump into a breacher and undock. If things look slightly different on my video here, it's because I've recently got better computer, but I'm still setting it up, as you can see. But what it means is the picture should be a little bit sharper, a little bit higher resolution, so hopefully my videos will be a little better looking as a result of this. So I'm a little bit vulnerable because I'm just setting up everything for PvP at the moment. Wow, Eve's a beautiful game. So let's jump through to Intaki, see if we can find this interstellar shipcaster, get a good look at it. Now, the one that's in Intaki is in Galenti space, so as you'd expect, it's the one that relates to the Galenti faction warfare, which means members of Galenti faction warfare can use it. The other ones are Mehatur for Amar pilots, Onaman for Kaldari, and Amel for Minmatar. I think everyone's overview should have one tab that shows absolutely everything. And even though I've got such a tab, because the Shipcaster's new, it's not showing up there. So the way to make it show up on the overview is to go into Overview Settings, go into Filters, type Shown, type Shipcaster or Ship C, and it'll bring up the beacons there. So if you tick them, they will then show up on your overview. There it is. Federation Interstellar Shipcaster. So I'm just warping to it. And here it is. Now I can't use that because I'm not in the Galenti faction. But if you were, this is where you would come. And you can see the fact that the technology used and the components used were related to the Triglavians is reflected in the design at the top. Just a reminder that if you want to join factional warfare, it's really easy to do. You open up the agency, click Encounters, Factional Warfare, and it'll tell you where the nearest recruitment office is for the particular faction that you wish to join. You can also go into Activities and Factional Warfare and choose the drop down here for any particular faction, where again it'll allow you to set a destination to join that faction, and you can also see where the battles are going on and where you're needed. Now, in order for you to jump, you need to have somewhere to jump to. And the landing pads are under construction at these different areas, and they need to be there for you to jump to. And once you've got somewhere to link to, that's where the Shipcaster gate will take you. So it tells me that there's a landing pad under construction in Melmanuel at the top. So let's go there. You know, as I'm jumping through these different systems, I've got to remember that I'm in high security space, because I just saw a Mackinaw on scan and the instinct to kill kicks in. So I've jumped into low security space. So here we are jumping into Melmanuel. So we have the Federation Shipcaster Beacon Constructor and the State Shipcaster Beacon Constructor. So Federation is Galente. So if you want to assist with the construction, you've got to turn in the building blocks, for which you will get LP. But again, that's something you can only do if you have them. But you can align yourself to a faction without joining them. So the Federation one would appear to be Galente, but then you also get Imperial, Republic and State Shipcaster Beacon Constructors for the different factions. So once the beacons are constructed, the Shipcasters can connect to them, and that's how you'll be able to jump. Which is going to make frontier fighting for faction warfare a lot more instant, a lot more fun. You're going to get a lot more action out of it. So it's worth being part of this. So if the Shipcaster thing has kind of been a bit alien to you, or you've been out the loop a bit, hopefully that'll give you a bit of an overview as to what a Shipcaster is, what it'll do, the state that it's at the moment, and when it needs to get functional. So I'm Magaibo, thanks for watching, see you again next time.